Hey guys, Sandy here, and I am back with my Citrus Twist kit for August 2017, and I'm actually going to be scrapbooking this postcard and this photograph from Muir Woods. It was the National Park Service Centennial, and I've pulled out some black and white elements, and I'm going to use this great paper from Pink Paisley for my background. Alright, let's see what I can do.
Alright, so when I first got that paper in my Citrus Twist kit, I really liked that grid, and I thought I would cut kind of it either in half or something so I could use some of this really colorful rainbow paper and some of the grid. However, I decided that I really just wanted to use this rainbow paper as my background. Now, I wanted the deep blue color of this twirly curly-Q paper, but I didn't really want the curly-Qs. So what I did was matted it down, and then I'm just going to trim it off so you really don't even see the curly-Qs. You have this ever so slight border of the teal blue color around the photo and the postcard. And the postcard is not exactly straight, and I didn't even realize it until I got it down on the paper, and the gap between the photo and the postcard are a little off. But you know what? I'm not even going to worry about it. I don't even decide to straighten the postcard up. I just decide to go with it. And I know I want to do some black and white. It's not, or cream. It's really a cream. I know I want to do that, so I've had those embellishments pulled out. And typically when I do two photos across the page like this, the photos do end up at the top, and I wanted to try it at the bottom today, but I really wanted that blue kind of showing, and I don't know why it didn't occur to me just to flip the paper around so that the photos were still at the bottom instead of me just moving the photos up, but you know what, I went with it. So I am going to ink the edges of this piece of the cut apart sheet because I just want to call attention to that blue color a little bit more, and I'm going to layer it up on two places on the photos so that it's just like on the diagonal here. And my embellishment ends up going to a triangle, and I didn't even realize it was a triangle until I'm watching this video. I guess that it's pleasing to your eye, so maybe you automatically go to those kind of things. Now I did pull this washi tape from my stash, and this is part of my stash kit that I'm working on for the Rediscover Your Stash Challenge. And at first I was going to go with the blue, but I figured that was a little bit too much, and I wanted to do a little punch of the pink. So I took that pink paper and I put it on a white cardstock background, and I had to find a piece of cardstock that was long enough because 12 by 12 papers are not all 12 by 12 papers. Drives me crazy that I can buy 4 sheets of 12 by 12 paper and they all don't line up and like stack evenly on top of each other. You'll see gaps where 12 inches isn't truly 12 inches. It's like the foot-long subs from Subway all over again. It really does stress me out a little bit. So this is a technique. I don't even know if it's a technique, but this is something that I do kind of often when I want my washi tape to not be translucent. I put it on cardstock and then cut it out and use it as a border strip. And I didn't, this washi tape has like a whitish translucent-y part to it, and I didn't want to see through it. I wanted the washi tape to actually be the washi tape, and you see that, and not the things underneath of it. And I just have to pull it up a little bit because I didn't really get it lined where I want it to. However, my adhesive like really stuck down on that paper, so I had to pull it up, and I'm like, oh, I should put some gold glitter on here because everything's great with gold glitter. So I pulled out this gold glitter tape, and I don't want it over top of the black and white piece. And it's easier just to rip off the edge and layer it underneath than it is to pull that piece up and get it to go underneath where it should be. So I get that gold on there, and I'm like, yay, I love sparkly gold. And I'm just adding some more adhesive to this washi tape border strip that I made. And you're not even really going to be able to tell that it is kind of an arrow anymore because I tuck it under and it just looks like a diagonal stripe. And I'm cool with that. Like, I like that. I think that that looks better because I'm not trying to point your eye in any kind of direction with the arrow on that washi tape. So I'm just adjusting it a little bit, and you fine tune stuff because it looks a little crooked. And then you go back and you do your voiceover and you're watching yourself scrapbook and you're like, that's still crooked, but you don't even notice it while you're scrapbooking. So, stuff like that happens all the time. So I really like this, I guess, fake Polaroid photograph that was on one of the cut-apart sheets. However, I'm not using the circus scene. Like, I don't have any circus photos or fair photos or anything like that to scrapbook right now. And very easily, the stuff in this Citrus Twist kit could be something I put away for when I get those kind of photos. You get something awesome, you find an embellishment pack, or you have some great paper that you find and you're like, I'm going to insert cool activity here, and I'll be able to use that scrapbook paper. And I could easily do that with the carousel collection kit. But you know what? I want to use it. It's pretty, and I really like the Polaroid look. And only thing I did was use a little bit of Echo Park paper, covered up that like carnival boardwalky scene, and it's perfect. It fits right in. It's got the exact colors that I want. Now, I do have to say, I thought I was just going to stay with black and white or the creaminess, but I did take that really light, I think it's cotton candy, distress ink, and I just inked it up a little bit just to give it a little bit of color because I kind of felt like the flowers were getting lost on top of the other black and creamy elements. Especially that little floral paper that I put up there, and then even with the Polaroid, it didn't pop, and it needed to pop a little bit. So we just made that happen. And I think that looks good. Like the pink is a pretty good match for the background color, and I'm happy with it. So now, only thing I have to do is figure out a little bit of extra things to put on top of this black and cream parts, because it's just kind of like, boom, I'm a black and cream color, and you don't have anything going on. So I pull out the Citrus Twist cut apart, and the cut apart, I gotta say, I loved it this month. The cut apart was perfect. It had great labels, great colors, great words. It just worked out really great for me this month. And the placement of them were great too, which is kind of weird, but on another layout, I used a bunch of label stickers in one big row, and it just happened that they were the great colors that I wanted to use. So that was awesome too, because cut apart sheets are great, but when you can use like a section of a cut apart sheet in one area, just because it's laid out perfectly, it's such a good feeling. Okay, so then I'm going to pull out the puffy stickers, and I'm going to use these little birdies. I'm not exactly sure where in the world I would ever use these little birdies. I mean, they're cute, but they're not really what I would go to, but I figured it would be good. I mean, if you can't use little birdies on a layout about the woods, where can you use little birdies? So we get the little birdies on here, and I am definitely happy with them. And they kind of just, I like them that they're not like bird, like it just doesn't scream it at you when you look at it, because there are definitely some embellishments where you put it on your page and it screams like, I am an embellishment and this is what I am and the page is all about me. And I think about like the big icon embellishments like what is it? Like flamingos and cactus and those big ones. And even some of the ephemera pieces in this carousel collection pack. Like some of them are like, this is all about me, and that's cool, but I didn't want that on this page. So I'm glad that the little birdies are kind of subtle and understated. Now I pull out this thicker glitter tape, and I don't know where I got it, and I really wish I knew, because I would definitely buy this again. This would be something that I would use up and buy again. So I get it down here in the little corner down here, and I realize that it's not long enough. So I snip it, or I will snip it soon. And I'm just getting some pop dots on here. And I'm not exactly sure why I didn't use my foam, but for some reason, like, it didn't even connect in my head to use foam on that big, thick, open area of the flower. And I'm just trying to figure out where I want the title. And for a second, I thought about moving the words from the top and putting it up there. But I quickly nixed that idea, and I definitely wanted the title down here at the bottom. And I guess I really didn't even need a title because that postcard is very bold and very graphic. And you know that it's the centennial year in 2016. All right, so thankfully these thickers are true to all the other cardboard thickers that are out there. Or chipboard thickers, I should say, and don't really stick very well. And that was handy because I had to pull them up and down a few times when I pulled it up to split that glitter tape so it would be a little bit wider. So I'm just trying to figure out the spacing on this. And it's interesting to me when I go back and watch myself scrapbook and the stuff that I take the time and I make sure it's perfect, and a lot of this stuff I cut out, and it's just like, slap it down there and get it done. It looks fine. Like, who cares? Like, really, are you really moving that? It was a millimeter. You moved it. Are you serious? And sometimes it's just like, are you kidding me? I don't know. So I'm finding that I'm reaching for this little Scotch dot runner pretty often, in addition to my ATG, and I like it because, you know, I love my ATG. It is my favorite adhesive by far. I don't have a lick of problems with it. I really, really enjoy it. There's another little birdie. But this little dot runner, for the little items that don't stick very well or just needs a little bit of sticky to it, I mean, it's perfect. I just like it. So I hope that they have it for a while. And I actually bought this and a whole bunch of refills for it when Target clearanced it out. And at first I thought, oh man, maybe they're not making it anymore. But a couple weeks later it was back on the shelves. So who knows? Who knows? Okay, so that little birdie down there, I got two little birdies on there, and I used both of the little birdies out of the Citrus Twist Puffy sticker package, so that makes me happy. I threw on a couple of the little puffy hearts, and that is just to, you know, add a little bit of color, because I was getting pretty pink. So I put on the little blue ones, and I went and got my little letter stickers, and I end up just pulling, I was going to write the girls, but I changed it to my girls, because I had my as a little sticker from that little Provo Craft sticker sheet, and that is an old sticker sheet. But, you know, it's just something from my stash that I used one more part of, so that makes it awesome. And I really like the fact that this kit from Citrus Twist this month, that I have been able to use some stuff from my stash with it, and that even though the newest products that are out, I can still mix and mash with my old stash, and that makes me happy. So I was just using my finger there to see where I wanted the journaling. And I just journaled a little bit about how much they really thought that trunk there was cool, because there's little dates and labels on this trunk that they're standing in front of where it says like this happened, and that was really awesome. All right, guys, I am finished with this layout. Thanks so much for watching. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, or leave me a comment. You can say anything you want, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.